Hey guys, it's Morgan. Welcome back to another weekly Shlog here at Highland Cycles. This is our shop vlog that we do every week. We try to get them out on Mondays at around 4 p.m. Sometimes we miss that, sometimes we botch it. Anyway, but that's the general goal, is when these things hit. If you guys have gotten here because of a bike build video or a review video or a ride video or a race video or something like that, please give us a shot. Check this thing out. This is what we do. We're a little tiny motorcycle shop in western Colorado, Montrose to be specific, and we work on dirt bikes. So that's it. Every now and then we'll have a street bike in here because I'm soft and I'll help someone out. And actually, check that out over there. That, guys, is going to be maybe the source of a cool video series. That 1100 BMW was just given to me by a friend. Oh, look. RFS nerds, unite. It was given to me by a friend who just wasn't riding it and needs some work. And then I think I should take that thing on some sort of epic adventure. What do you guys think? Anyway, that's what we're doing here. If that sounds fun, join us. Here we go. All right, guys. So first on the lift is this beta that we are dealing with. The seal was, anyway, it was wrong. We got a brand new shiny beta seal head for it, so we are going to put that together. That's the first thing we're doing mechanically. I want to give a big shout out to Rocky Mountain ATV and Tusks for sending me parts and things. That's just some Allens, one for the van, one for the home shop. I got some cotter pins. They sell all kinds of cool stuff like that that are just inexpensive, good things. But check this out. This is one of my new favorite things. This is a stud install / removal tool. These are the removers. It's two pieces, O-ring there. They're both threaded the same thread. You screw them together and then you just tighten that down to like you would, just a double nut style, but it comes together and it's got the size on it and everything's pretty cool. So that's remover. And then the installer is even cooler. So it's got that ball bearing and an Allen, and what you do is you screw this onto the stud. You back the Allen out, get the ball up there, screw it onto the stud so you can grab lots of threads. Then you tighten that Allen tight against there, and that binds against the threads. It allows you to then thread it in and install it without too much binding on the thing. So that's pretty cool. Excited about that. If you guys don't know, I am sponsored by Rocky Mountain ATV. I am very, very thankful for that. If you guys use the link in the description below, it will help us out financially. It'll also help you guys out because you still get your Rocky Mountain cash. You still get free shipping. You still get all the cool stuff. You get the discounts, all that stuff. But you also help a shop like me out. Quick note, you can't just use that link, then bookmark that page. You have to, if you want to bookmark anything, bookmark highland-cycles.com. The home page of that page, it's our website, is a picture of our Rocky Mountain landing page. Click the bookmark to get to our page, then just click the screen anywhere and you'll go to our Rocky Mountain page. So anyway, also guys, I just shot a video with the new Tusk filter oil, so make sure you pay attention, look for that video testing this stuff out. I think it's going to be really, really good. So, all right, let me sit you guys down. Let's get this shock back together. All right, as I said last week in the Shlog, we are lowering this shock. So we put this spacer on instead of this spacer. So now it's going to limit its travel. So that's what's going on there. Also, I mentioned last time, it's really odd, but this has to come off to, anyway, instead of taking this off, anyway, it's a little bit weird. So anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to ultrasonic clean this stuff so that it looks better when it goes back on. It doesn't really matter as far as performance, but that looks like crap. So gonna put that in the ultrasonic, make it look nice. We got a new beta seal head. It's just like way over $100. But if you buy the kit that has this seal in it, because you got to buy a whole kit, it's like $5 less to buy the seals versus the whole head. So we just buy the whole head. And I'll save this and maybe see if I can hunt that seal down from someone else. Then I'll have a spare seal head. So anyway, let's get this stuff cleaned up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, got those all cleaned up and happy. So now, here's the thing. We got to make sure we put this all on in the right order because I don't want to have to take it back off. So, I believe this is going to go on first because it's going to stop against that. So that makes sense. We're going to put a little bit of grease on here to help lube that up as it goes on. There we go. Now, this goes on to seal everything up. Then the plastic bumper. Then the bumper. And then this. So, oh, but we got one more piece. This guy goes in to push the needle up and down. So, that got dirty. Gotta clean that off. This red thread locker is more suspension oil resistant than the stuck nuts. I'm gonna run that like that so it doesn't go down inside there, and then we're gonna spin this on, and then we got our holders over here. We'll tighten this thing down. There we go, guys. Now, got our shock body, which needs some cleaning and some love. The looks like it's got a Racetech bladder kit in it, but hasn't been serviced in a long time. So take that sucker out. We got a tool for that. In from our lovely folks at Tusk. Boom. I think this is another thing we're going to put in the ultrasonic, get it really, really clean. All right, that looks a lot better. So does this. This bladder was disgusting. So got that cleaned up, looking good. So we're going to blow this out really good with air. Try to get any kind of water or anything out of there. All right, guys, I like to pour a little bit in here to the reservoir, not fill it up. I'm trying to make too much of a mess, even though we know it's coming. Then take our bladder, go in with that. Oh, that fits in there so much better now that everything's clean. Let me show you something. So this clip, I don't know if you guys can see it. Anyway, it's not quite in its home. So we'll take our tool again and just pull up, and then that seats that clip into its little home. This thing is pretty sweet. I think lots of companies make them. Obviously the Tusk one's going to be inexpensive. Anyway, it works great. Now we're gonna fill this side up, not all the way obviously, but quite a bit. So go right there. I'm gonna take our shaft and we're gonna just ease it down in. Then I'm going to pour some on top of that. There we go. Now we're just going to go up and down till all the bubbles are done coming out. Put these on here. Oh, actually, no. take one of our Ultrasorbs from our good friend Brian Lynn at Medline. I really do like these. Of all the pig mat things I've used, these are the best. I like the size because they're big, and they come all folded up small, so you can have a ton of them in a box and just use them as you need. I'm putting the valve core back in now so that that bladder will hold its shape a little bit better, not squeeze out of the way so much as I push this down to try to force oil through the valving. All right, now I got the air out. Push our seal head down in. Oh. Our circlet. Up on that, make sure it's seated. All right, now we're gonna go put 150 PSI in this thing, put the spring back on it, and then we're gonna put this motorcycle back together so we can get this guy back out on the trail.
I don't know, I haven't heard it smelly.
All right, guys, got the shock on. Bolt everything up here. It's the end of the day, so gonna head home, but I'm gonna bolt this thing up. I'm gonna take that tire off. I'm gonna put moose balls in the back and a rim lock because that's not in there, which is weird. And then we'll button this thing all back up. All right, guys, next on the lift is this beautiful TE300. This is a 2018. This is the unicorn of bikes, guys. It is the last year of the carbureted and kick-started 300s from the KTM group, Husqvarna, whatever. This is the same era as my old Daisy bike. I absolutely love that bike. I love this bike. It's brilliant. Still got the Mikuni on it. He's got it dialed in and running really, really good. It is here for a metric ton of work. We've got a giant work order here for it. All good stuff. Let's read through what we got. So, you can install a fan and a new battery. The carb is leaking, so we got to take care of that. It's probably the O-ring on the seat. We'll take care of that. We got grips, sticky throttle. Just fix that, whatever is going on there. Make it street legal. So I got some DOT wheels that we're gonna put on. We got a mirror and a horn to put on there, and then also a brake light switch, which I believe it does not have yet. So we'll do that. New tires. I got an X31 front and a JX8 rear. Let's see. So he brought in a lowering link. That's an interesting thing. So this already has a super lowering link on it. A Duval one that lowers it about as much as you can. That way, I forget how much, but anyway. So he brought in, let me show you what he brought in, which I'm a fan of. Let's see. This is the Duval transformer pull rod, or wishbone, dog bone, whatever you want to call this thing. So this one has eccentric holes here in the back, so you can lower it. You can put it either stock height or lower. So we're going to just drop it a little bit, just because he doesn't want it super lowered. But just a little bit would be good. And we're going to match the forks up for that, just in the triple clamps. We're also going to be servicing suspension front and rear and greasing the linkage. And we're going to be repacking the silencer. I think that is it. Again, like I said, we're also greasing the chassis and servicing servicing the suspension. So we got a ton to do. I'm going to get my MSR scissor lift thing and put it underneath here so I can get both wheels off at the same time. The whole thing. Anyway, we're going to strip this thing down and get after it. All right, since I got it off, I think I might just start with repacking the muffler. I can set it down out of the way, but at least I'll know it's done. So if you're doing it this way, guys, you gotta be really careful. I ruined a silencer once by hitting this too hard and it bent in. So you gotta be a little bit delicate. Just make sure you're not bending that. There we go. This looks like the original packing. It is definitely old. It's not terrible looking in there, but definitely needing to be replaced. Not too bad. You can actually see through those, but we'll go ahead and burn them out. Make sure that's all clean. Get some new fresh packing in here and put it all back together. All right, guys, we got some two-stroke muffler packing from Fly Racing, and this is going to be awesome because it looks like it's just the right length right out of the box. I think this is cool enough to work with. I'm going to find out. See if I burn myself. 1 second there. I got to tape this up so I don't lose my progress. All right, guys, got her all ready to rock and roll. Got to make sure that this is poking through like that so that it lines up on the inside there. And if you guys have ever done this, you know what I'm doing here. There's a hole in there into the turbine core, and we're just going to get that to line up. Got some RTV. I'm going to put that around here. I'm going to run a bead all the way around here so as we slide together it seals this up. Cause that sound right? Huh? I did. All right, guys, we got the carburetor off. The silencer's all done. I just put it on the ground over there. Next is leaky carb. You can see it's mainly leaking around here, but we're going to rebuild this sucker because it needs it. So we're going to get this apart. Then we'll throw it in the ultrasonic, get it all cleaning up, and then get our new gaskets and stuff. All right, guys, while the ultrasonic buzzes away back there, I'm going to service his rear shock because we're doing front and rear suspension service, and we're greasing the chassis and everything. So this bike is going to be sweet when I'm done with it. I'm excited. I mean, it's a sweet bike as it is, but it's going to be all fresh. Guys, our recommendation is every 40 hours on suspension. That's the official TBT recommendation. My official Morgan Spratling recommendation is 60 to 70 for real. I mean, unless you're absolutely beating on it. If you're like A to pro level racer who wants your bike to work perfectly, exactly the same all the time, then yeah, you probably ought to do it more often. But if you're just a normal casual trail rider, even at a level, you know, skill level, but you're just casually trail riding, honestly, 60 to 70 hours is just fine. So save you quite a bit of money over the course of 300 or 400 hours worth of riding. So yeah, super simple. This thing's bone stock, guys. I'll bring you in if I find anything crazy about it, but probably shouldn't be big deal. It's got the piston style nitrogen reservoir. We're going to leave that on there. So we're going to set the IFP, or the internal free piston. I think that's what that stands for. Anyway, at about 10 mil off of bottomed out, so that we have enough oil in there to move, but then enough nitrogen to absorb big hits, and it can move oil in there. So if you don't have enough nitrogen volume, the thing will ramp up too stiff. It's too progressive, right? So it'll ramp up its stiffness way too fast. So yeah, let's get this thing apart. Hopefully we don't find anything weird. Should be good. All right, guys, I took a better look at it. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and replace the bushing, and I've had people ask me, how do you get the bushing out of these things? Well, this is a huge help right here. Racetech TSBD set, whatever, shock bushing. Anyway, this thing is crazy helpful. So what you do is you find the right one, and so it's got this little bit of a lip. It's going to go in, it's going to hook onto that bushing, but it's going to go through the thing, and then you can use a press, or in this situation we use our vise. We're just going to push it straight. Goes till it stops. Boom. Bushing's out. Just tap that back out like that, nice and easy. Now we're clean, ready for a new bushing to go in. 1 second. All right, guys, got new parts. So instead of buying a whole seal head, we've got a whole bunch of, like, 3 new parts here, and the thing will be like brand new. So now we've got to put our bushing in. So we take the other side. So this is the side that pushed it out. The other side, push it in. Do the same thing. We're going to line it up here. I'll just go down. Needs to go just a little bit further. There we go. What's happening? All right, guys, we got this linkage all greased up. Got the swing arm greased. Everything is looking good here. So much shinier than it was. We got the Duval transformer pull rod, or whatever, dog bone is what I like to call it, set at the number 3, which is 20 millimeters, I think. Anyway, maybe 10, I forget. Anyway, it's set at that one. We can go one more if he needs to, or we can go less if he wants to. Either way, whatever, we're good. Now we are going to do a tire. We can move towards the front of the motorcycle. And actually, we have a fan. So the other thing we're going to do while it's off like this is, while it's apart like this, excuse me, is we're going to put a fan on there. We got a Trail Tech that will actually match up to these radiator guards, these Enduro Engineering, I believe, yeah, Enduro Engineering radiator guards. That's why they put these holes here. So I'm going to have to take this off. But I think I can just take this guard off and put the bolts through and then put it back on, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. All right, guys, we're getting closer on Steve's bike. We've got the rear tire changed. These are actually my old wheels, some Warp 9 wheels I had with DOT tires on them, because he's going to get this thing inspected. So we slapped those on there. We're going to put one on the front, but we've also, what we're running, what he's going to pick up and put back on is X31 front and a beautiful JX8 rear. But we've also got the brake light switch working. We got the fan on and mounted up with the Enduro Engineering radiator guards. That was a bit of a thing. Probably should have showed you a little more of it, but basically there are 3 holes in this guard that actually line up with 3 holes on the fan. So I mounted those, and then the bracket that holds the temp sensor doesn't fit because that's, anyway, supposed to go on there without that. So I cut it, and I cut this, fabbed a bunch of things up, and I put this on here, and now that's perfect, just where it's supposed to be. Everything's looking really good. Now it is time to service the front suspension and change this tire, and I think that's it. Oh, I fixed the sticky throttle. I got to put grips on it, which I probably should have done while I was doing this throttle, but anyway, I'll redo that part. But I got a set of grips for him to put on, and then I think we're done. So let's get these forks off and get after it. Boom. Time to get these forks done. You guys have seen these are Explorer forks. You've seen them a million times, so I'm not going to show you up close unless something crazy happens. All right, guys, next on the lift is the CRF-X 450. I forget what year. Anyway, this is Jay Patterson's, and he's a real fast dude, and we are going through and doing some chassis greasing. We're also installing some new meats on these tire wheels and on his other spare wheels. I just want to show you guys why you want to do something like this. So far I've been checking, and things are pretty greasy. I haven't pulled these bearings out yet, and I'll show you what that looks like. But boom, look at this. This is the pivot bearing or pivot bolt for the swing arm, and that is disgusting. So that is why you do this. When I took the bearings out of here, or the races out of the swing arm, they're actually pretty good shape, really not bad. But that's no good, so I obviously added some grease to those bearings, got them all cleaned up and happy. Then we also greased these 2 dog bones underneath here, but this is gross, so we're going to clean that up. We'll get that all happy. Things like that are what cause damage in the long run, because that will seize to the races and then spin those races more and lock up, and then you can't get the thing out anyway, and rust travels, right? So anyway, get that done, get all this stuff greased. Let's see how bad the little tri-link thing is. With these non-caged bearings, I like to push the race just out of the way, like halfway, grease half of it so you're not losing needles. Then push it out the other half, grease it up. When you're greasing these things, guys, you got to push that grease into those bearings. Boom, there we go. And yeah, super messy, but we'll get it up on there, get it all bolted up, and then we'll clean it up. All right, guys, so normally I'm saying that's the end of the week, the end of the Shlog. This is actually the next week, and we're starting the next Shlog. It's been crazy. I was doing some hunting with my kid. Anyway, sorry about not finishing that up, but I'm finishing up the editing right now. We're getting it out to you on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. Apologize for all that, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it was a pretty good one. Make sure you comment below. Punk Rock Club, you know I love you more than everybody else. And as always, I hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on, more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!